1010's podcast. My name is, of course, Michael Beck with Adam Nielsen and Rob Sponsibilities.
Are you like an auctioneer tonight? You're going real fast.
It's to compensate for the being stupidly tired. So I'm just talking fast to try to make up for it.
We'll see if we can knock this out in 10 minutes.
We're going to do a 10-minute podcast. It's the fastest podcast anybody's ever listened to. Before you know it, it's over.
We should release this as just a 10-minute podcast, and then like 30 minutes later, we'll have our normal
Have
one
another
come out.
podcast?
Like, it's just the normal one.
Just to confuse everybody.
Just to confuse the like 5 people that actually download it when it comes out.
So we can pump up our download numbers. What we should do is just take a podcast. It's an hour and a half long, and just split it into like 10 sections, and then release them all to everybody that subscribes. Look, we have 20,000 downloads. This is fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Look at me.
And then we'll just sell a bunch of ad space.
Yeah, a new podcast every day.
That's an interesting idea. I didn't think about that. Could do a new podcast every day.
Then we'll be number 1 in the iTunes ranking. That's how Car Talk is doing it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'd have tons of downloads, tons of episodes. It'd be huge. We're doing this all wrong.
Look out, Joe Rogan. Here we come.
Yeah.
Except his are 3 hours
His are
long.
3 hours, yeah. If he did this, he would completely squash us.
Yeah.
Doesn't he practically already? Isn't he like 2 or 3 a week sometimes?
Yeah, he does like 3-hour podcasts a week.
Man, that's a lot
How
of
does he even
talking.
have time to do, like, wouldn't your brain just be mush? Like, I would just be destroyed.
Drugs.
You need 2 days to
so
just
he's always traveling
sleep.
for work. 'Cause he's got UFC stuff. He got his podcasts.
Yeah, sometimes he's
He
flying
did
to
Fear
like
Factor, stuff like that.
flying to different countries to do UFC stuff.
Is Fear
and do
Factor still a
stand-up.
thing?
No, but he does stuff like that.
He had 2 TV shows for a while at the same time. And he has a company.
That's why he's stupid mega rich and we're sitting
doesn't-
on Robbie's couch doing a podcast for free.
Because he doesn't sleep.
Because he's a motivator. He's a go-getter.
I'm trying not sleeping. It's not working out this week very well.
Polyphasic sleeping.
Dude, polyphasic sleeping is
No.
not going to work.
You'll die. It's not
Just
worth it.
explain it now that you've already gone down this road.
You sleep for 20 minutes every 4 hours.
Nope. You can't do it.
Now, the more I think about it, it makes less sense because what is that? 20 minutes. So it's only 2 hours of sleep then a day?
A day.
No.
So that even makes less sense.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then if you have to follow that schedule, you couldn't like live your life. You would have to everything.
Stop. Oh, everybody's got to stop
Hold on. I can't go to this movie. I got to go to sleep.
for 20 minutes.
Yep. I can catch up later.
Well, the problem is you couldn't go to a movie because you would just fall asleep.
Oh, yeah.
You put somebody in a dark room that hasn't slept a normal night's sleep in the last 3 days and say, hey, don't fall asleep. It's not going to happen.
No.
It's like your coworker that we were just talking about.
Yeah, he crashed. He made it 36 hours and that was it.
So was he a tech like you are?
No, he was our warehouse manager.
Oh, do I know who this person is?
No, he doesn't work
Oh,
there
okay.
anymore.
All right, just making sure. How does that work?
He's
then?
an EMT now. If that makes you feel any better.
As long as he's sleeping, I guess I don't really care.
He's in Boston though, so he won't kill us.
How does that work if you're the warehouse manager? Did he just, I got to go, and then he would disappear?
I don't know.
Sleep on a pallet or something?
Well, we only have an 8-hour day if you don't count our lunch hour, which he could sleep on. So he could sleep right up to 8 o'clock and then be at work and then sleep for lunch and then leave and go to sleep again.
Oh, I just thought about how terrible that would be. So you'd have to be up in the morning. You'd have to go to work, sleep in your car, go into work for 4 hours, sleep over your lunch break, eat, work your next 4 hours, and then sleep in your car before you went home.
Problem is if you have like an hour lunch break like we do at ICS, unless they're willing to let you go early, you're going to break it up there
Just won't work.
because you're going to have
Not worth
40
it.
minutes of messed up time.
I can't believe you thought that was going to work.
College kids.
I guess so.
It's all about experimenting in college.
Thanks, Robbie. I wish that was a soundbite, not in the show. It's a good outtake.
Whatever.
Wow, that got weird.
You can find us at 1010s Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, at the number 1010s Podcast on Twitter, on YouTube, and you can find us at 1010spodcast.com, where we have our store. Is there anything we want to shout out on the store this week?
Pillows.
Beat the pillow thing to death.
Go and buy
Colored
stuff.
shirts.
Get a hoodie.
Yeah, it's cold out. You
It's
need a
getting
hoodie.
cold out,
It was 80 degrees today. You need a hoodie.
including our California friends. It's going to get cold there, relatively speaking.
Oh, yeah.
You should have a hoodie.
Well, they get colder at warmer temperatures. Like it's 60 degrees, and they're all in hoodies.
I know.
So
they're
they should-
freezing.
they should definitely
They
get
should
one.
have one now, for sure, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
The temperature drops 5 degrees. I'm just saying.
That would be terrible.
Do we have a shout out?
I don't have a shout out, I don't think.
No shout outs this week?
Shout out to all you beautiful people. Just everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We've had a lot of downloads the last couple of weeks, so thank
we
you
appreciate
to
it.
Humbling,
everybody.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. Hopefully we don't disappoint you.
So
Yes.
hello to new people, and thank you for coming back if you're not new.
We have a story time with Adam this week.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. So somebody released a video this week of a Formula One driver making a lap, and it was like, from on his helmet, so you could see all the inputs he's doing on the steering wheel. We've kind of talked before in the past about all the buttons that are on the steering wheel.
Yep.
But I kind of assume that they're all there, but they don't really do that much with them. But no, those guys are constantly making like he's changing brake bias to his
wow.
left front tire.
Which is nuts.
Not just front to rear, but like left to right and front to rear, while he's upshifting and downshifting and applying gas and brake and toggling DRS on and off and changing brake bias. And dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's got lock on the steering wheel and he's adjusting shit. There's no way
there
my
are
brain could handle that.
I couldn't do it.
There are 13 things that he changes, most of them more than once, in one lap.
So is he changing brake bias based on the type of corner he's taking?
Yeah, I think so.
God, that's nuts.
Yeah,
So, like,
he trims like 0.5% off the left front tire
Yeah.
for that corner, and then trims a 1.5% off the right rear tire for the next one.
You have to, he has to have that memorized before
Yeah.
he gets there. And his race engineer has to have that all planned out. And then, I guess that would explain why they do so much
It's
testing.
got to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's got to be dead on perfect for him to be able to make those adjustments.
Yeah. That's nuts.
And I think in that lap, he touch the wall. You see him touch the wall
I
with
don't
the
know,
tire.
he gets real close.
And then
to
he
it.
adjusts the brake bias. It's crazy. Plus just the crazy speed that he's moving at.
Yeah,
Your
it's
brain
good.
couldn't
It's
fucking
still
do
Formula One speed.
anything
I mean,
else if I was doing this. The one thing that I'm doing is driving and not screwing with stuff. I couldn't even shift gears.
I couldn't make those kind of changes in an automatic Honda Fit.
Well, even at Marshalltown, we're doing autocross. They're like, how fast were you taking the big sweeper?
I've
Not a clue.
No
I
idea.
didn't look down. I don't know. I don't have a
got
damn
one
clue.
thing to do.
I have a speedometer in this car? What?
I've got one downshift I need to do, and if I fuck that up, it fucks up the whole laps. It's the one thing I'm focusing on.
'Cause I-
Like 3 corners from now, but I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, see, my biggest thing was I kept focusing on the stuff right in front of my hood. Like I would look at the track too close to my car.
Yeah.
So I was actively looking further down the track. That was something I was working on last year.
Yeah.
Obviously not this year because I didn't race, but last year. So the last thing I was going to do was look down at my speedometer.
And see how fast you're
Yeah,
going.
so I'm just focusing on one thing. I can't imagine switching 13 different buttons, going 180 miles an hour, taking turns.
And changing a lot of gears.
Oh yeah, changing gears.
Yeah, I don't
Bam,
remember
bam,
what
bam.
the total number was, but it was like 60-some total inputs counting ups and down shifts.
He had at least 32 shifts up and down.
Just shifting alone.
32.
And that only accounts for 2 of the 13 things he has to change in that lap.
Plus all that stuff, the steering wheel's not that big. It's all smashed on there.
It's
And you're
all
turning-
muscle memory.
You're turning.
I'll bet you that guy could make that lap with his eyes closed. It's like if it's an open lap and he doesn't have to worry about lap traffic, they have that down to such a science because they spent so much time on a simulator that they could practically do it blindfolded.
It's just fingering. That's all he's doing that whole time is just fingering. Fingering the steering wheel. Don't look at me like that, Robbie.
You said it, man.
Why do you always have to take it there?
I didn't.
I'm just saying.
You were the one who took it there. Robbie was just looking at you. Don't blame
He's
Robbie
giving me that
on
look,
this
that
one.
little one-sided smile thing that he does. He's
That
like,
shit-eating
I'm
grin.
just waiting for you. I'm just waiting for you to finish this phrase so I can say phrasing. I'm just waiting.
Nah, I let that one go.
It's too easy. It's
Yep.
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Robbie's
you
better
can't
than that.
softball him in there and expect me to just hit
Oh,
him.
that
I'm
sucks.
just-
I was
nope.
hoping that
No, sorry.
with the motions that I'm making, nobody can see.
Nope.
This is great radio.
Look,
He's doing things with his thumbs and his pointer
Fingers
fingers.
and
Yeah, I had no idea that they adjusted that much per lap or
Yeah,
at any
I-
given moment.
I didn't think that there was that. I knew there's a lot on the steering wheel, but I didn't honestly think there was that much that they were doing with it.
Which now brings me to the argument that they always say that Formula One cars are too easy to drive now.
I don't think that's true.
I would disagree after
I think
learning
we're
that.
wrong on that.
I think they've made it so complicated that it's very hard to drive.
I think it's it's from one extreme to the other. Like they used to be really hard to handle.
Yes.
Now they're just really hard to do right.
Yeah, because with the
agree.
DRS and the DRS on and the DRS off and being able to change your brake bias and the shifting and all that other bullshit, maintaining enough speed to have downforce.
Since I haven't driven enough cars to like have a good reference, you've played Forza, right?
Yep.
Have you driven with James Hunt's or Leaky Lauda's 1976 Formula car?
I have once or twice, and I don't like driving.
It sucks. You can't.
It's
handle.
miserable.
You're all over the track. You're sliding.
Like I'll drive Audi's LMP1 car.
Yeah.
And it's stupid fast, and it takes me like a good 2 or 3 laps to like actually put together a clean lap, and it's not a fast lap, it's just a clean one. I can't do it.
Yeah, with those older Formula
With those
One cars,
older ones.
yeah, I could never drive them.
Not well.
No. So yeah, I would say that they're
Like
probably
6/10 at best.
so yeah. The best comparison I can have is on a Forza game where I can say, yeah, those are hard to handle, and then the new cars are easier to handle. But I'm also not doing all the adjustments that they're doing.
Yeah.
One day I'll know for sure. I'll drive a real car.
That's the spirit, Robbie.
Just put real downforce on your car.
What do you mean?
Didn't
Time
even know.
attack, bro.
You could do time attack things.
I would love to. You know what I also love? A running car. We could start there.
You're working on it, though.
I am.
You're getting there slowly. It's going to be a process. Dude, it's winter. We've all basically given up.
It's October.
We've all basically given up on racing at this point because it's going to happen. It's Iowa. It could literally snow tonight.
It was 80 degrees today, and I wouldn't be
It could-
shocked if I woke up to snow tomorrow.
There'll be frost on the ground at Cars and Coffee on Saturday. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, probably.
Welcome to Iowa. Your season's just gone.
Season's
overnight.
over. Time to pull the engine, put a new one in.
I like it. It's a bold strategy, but I think it's going to work for you.
Do it every year.
Is this your 3rd year in a row where you've pulled the motor?
Second. I didn't pull it 2 years ago. I changed the turbo 2 years ago. And a bunch of other stuff. And suspension. And
Probably would have been
No.
easier to pull the motor.
last year I pulled the motor and replaced all the suspension.
Yeah, last year you got
Sure.
work done.
Yeah, you got crazy.
I did too much. I admit that.
Yeah, but there was technical issues. It
Let
wasn't
that be a
like-
lesson to all of
laziness.
the listeners.
Yeah. Don't take a bigger bite than you can handle.
Yeah, but it wasn't laziness, though.
No.
Like
I'm not-
you did as much due diligence as you probably could have done.
Yeah.
Just shit happened.
Yeah, if you wouldn't have done the suspension, it wouldn't have made your racing season any different.
no.
Yeah, any motor swap could have screwed you up on that.
Yeah, the fact that I pulled the motor and tried to put a completely built one it just was too
just
much.
didn't-
That
The
just didn't work.
suspension is
Just
not
happened.
what killed you in this situation.
And
It
maybe
wasn't that
maybe
you
I was
put out
too
too
cocky to think that I could take someone else's engine that they couldn't get right and think that I could get it right.
But you were just taking their long block. It's not like you took his
took his-
computer and all that.
No,
did you?
but yeah,
So-
I still was convinced I could get
It should have worked
Whatever.
on paper, is
Well,
what I'm
so,
trying
well
to say.
so far that engine is at least 10 different states. It's like a dead body. Just
All over eBay.
yep.
That's Robbie's eBay plug there. If you want to buy SR20 parts.
Yeah, if you want SR20 parts, you should hit up Robbie. Actually.
Absolutely.
Did you sell that transmission?
I got 2 transmissions.
Did
you sell one of
either
them?
one of them to that one guy on
No.
on the Facebook?
Somebody asked me if I would ship him the long block to Hawaii.
If
Is
they pay for shipping,
he-
absolutely.
I'm sure I could, but
He
it's
can't.
not economical.
It might be for him. It's Hawaii.
I don't know.
He might have a hard time finding someone to just say yes.
I haven't looked into
He
what I
might
would
be
do.
fully prepared to pay top dollar and shipping because he's tired of everyone telling him no.
There's a local offering everything from the head down. He wants to
Hawaii?
buy. No, local. He wants to buy.
Oh.
I'll give him a much better deal if he just takes it.
Yeah, just get out of my life.
Yeah, because it's not really going to be easier to ship stuff from California. It's still a long-ass ways away.
Yes.
So it probably doesn't
I
matter.
prefer not to ship anything that weighs above 20
You have
pounds.
to put it on a...
When you have to ship
No,
something that
is it
heavy, it
powder?
really doesn't matter how far it's going. It's the same amount of work whether it's going from here to Omaha or here to Hawaii.
What's it weigh?
I have no idea what the block.
Let's go with 150 pounds.
You basically have to freight it.
You would have to freight it, and that's where
Pallet it up and freight it.
it goes downhill. Go from freight to regular shipping, it's like exponential cost difference.
Yes.
But what else is he going to do? How many SR20s are there in Hawaii? So
Yeah, not many.
maybe you should do it.
I'll look into it.
Make him buy the whole thing. Be done.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Wipe your hands. Move on. Any other car updates?
No,
Nah.
Anything else?
pulling it apart.
Sweet. Should we talk about our topic for the week then?
Let's do it.
When's the last time we did a topic? It's probably been a long time, hasn't it?
Not
For a
really.
while.
Like 2 weeks ago?
Like a regular topic.
Like,
Due to my eraser, is that not a regular topic?
Nah, that was kind of a
that's
segment.
a bit.
That was a bit. That was our radio moment.
So probably the bucket list then.
Yeah, I guess that has been a little while. So for this week, we're going to talk about concept cars. Probably mainly what we wish had gone into production. But we'll see where the conversation goes. Maybe some
I
stuff
have a
that was
feeling
terrible.
that at least one of mine you guys will say we're really glad it didn't go into production, so it'll be all right.
Was it an Audi?
You got no
That's good.
Merca over here.
You're Captain.
you
You're
got-
Captain Merca this week.
Yeah, I am.
You kind of had an epiphany.
Yeah, when I was doing research, I decided that nobody does concept cars like American auto manufacturers. Everybody else just kind of slacking. They're just really not that interesting.
Or they just, build them.
Or they, well,
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
I think what it is
We're
is
planning on making this, by
When
the
I
way.
see a concept car, I want it to be outlandish and insane. And Audi and Toyota, they build concept cars they could actually make,
Yeah.
and then they make them. That's no fun.
Here's our new Camry. Okay, cool.
It's the Camry concept.
Oh,
You'll see it next
I
year.
thought
as a
that was the
production.
current Camry.
That looks just like 10% different than the last Camry. So I'm not really that interested in it.
Yeah.
So what's on your list then, Captain Merca?
Well, should we talk about why we're talking about this one first?
Yeah, so
Tell me about this Buick.
the Buick
that I've never heard
Avenir.
of.
By the way, Buick and Cadillac really suck at making concept car names, but it's called the Avenir, I think. And it was a decent-looking, large four-door flagship-style sedan for Buick. It looked kind of like they could make it. It wasn't that stupid.
Which
And-
most of mine are.
And it was kind of cool. I think it'd be a good move for Buick to do like a cool kind of sleekish sedan thing. And they came out this week saying, we're going to make it, but it's a trim level. It's the Avenir trim level.
Trim level for what? The Regal?
No, I think it's like a fancy,
It's Buick's version of the Denali then.
yeah, it's like an LTZ or a Denali trim level.
Oh, so it'll be a trim level for all of their lineup. It'll be the top trim level.
The way I understand it was it's at least more than just one car. Like it's just a trim, yeah. It's a trim badge for
It's a
their models.
luxury one.
They
I
get a
assume.
fancy grille and some different interior trim
Dumb.
and maybe some different wheels.
Lame.
That's it? Nothing more? Like
No.
no fancy engines, no suspension?
No ultra
No.
plush exotic materials from zebras that have never seen the savannah or anything fun.
No. It's Buick being Buick.
If it's not a gator skin seat, I don't want anything to do with it.
Dude, if you get a Buick with a gator skin seat, that would be dope. You would
But
win.
it better have 26s on it.
No, just stock rims with
Some
gator skin
underglow?
seats. No, you can't do that.
Gator skin seats. That would be pretty ridiculous.
Would be sick.
Is that right, sir? to
a
like
Buick?
to go 2 weeks ago?
No. I'm going to give you a pass on that.
Yes.
I think it's sick.
I'm not going to give him a pass on that.
Doesn't matter. Michael wins. 2 against
2
1.
out of 3.
Whatever.
So, all right, Captain America.
Yeah,
Me? All right. Well, you put me on the spot. I don't have my drive,
Okay, well, I can kind of
my
start. then.
document up.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Well, the one car I wanted to talk about, which I think is super cool, I don't count it as a concept car because they never made anything with it. It was SRT made the Tomahawk GT car for the Gran Turismo game. So it's a 2,600 horsepower. They called it a concept car. When you can drive it in.
It's supposed to be like the race car of the future.
Yeah, like
wasn't
it was the release date, production date is 2035, which isn't going to happen. But yeah, it's a 2,600 horsepower. It's a air hybrid system.
Yeah,
and you can
like,
you can drive it
If
on
I
Gran
remember
Turismo.
right, yeah, because you can drive on Gran Turismo, and like it has, like the whole car is active aero. Body panels move and change, and the race version, the driver has to wear a G suit like they wear in airplanes because it can take corners so fast.
Pumps you up. Makes
Yeah.
you... I forgot about that car.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing looking car. Like the concept, of course, is just so cool looking. To me, it almost looks like
is
it
radical.
almost looks like a Koenigsegg.
Yeah, kind of.
Which
Or
game was this
angular
on?
Koenigsegg.
Gran Turismo 6, they made it as one of their like vision cars.
Gran Turismo actually did kind of a cool thing, and they still are, with a bunch of manufacturers. They did this Vision Gran Turismo thing, and a bunch of manufacturers came up with concept cars that they would then model and then released to the game, and a few of them even made real concept ones out of them. Mercedes did that ridiculous Veyron race car thing, was a Vision Gran Turismo car. They had a bunch of brands that had some interesting stuff on there, and some of them went real crazy like Dodge did, and some of them built ones that might actually be something that could happen in the somewhat near future.
Because wasn't Red Bull with that the car with the fans?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that
think
was
about
in
that.
5.
Yeah, I think that wasn't that was a Vision thing too, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It might be wrong. Who cares? But I thought that was really cool. Just kind of an honorable mention of something that's the spirit of the concept in my eyes. Like, you take a car, like, you're building something to the absolute extremes, and yeah, maybe it's not going to be into production, but you're going to take that technology and you're going to, for lack of a better term, dumb it down to the production level and then build something that everyone can buy.
Yeah, that's the idea, for sure. It's interesting that you said that, because when you said Tomahawk, I got stuck on the Tomahawk thing, and then I thought of the motorcycle.
Yep.
See, I assumed when I was doing research, I saw that and I was like, I remember Robbie thinking that thing was fucking sweet. And
No.
so I assumed Robbie was going to do it.
I did not think that was sweet. I thought
No?
it was stupid.
It's
'Cause that's a
it's
Viper motor with
It is.
wheels on the front and back, right?
the best way to die.
Yeah,
Isn't that the thing that like they said that just like as a theoretical top speed because
Yes.
they can't put somebody on it?
It's like
Yep.
3 million miles an hour, I think. Yeah,
its top speed can't be met because the rider would fall off by the drag of the wind.
it weighs
Right.
1,500 pounds. Why?
It's undrivable. You couldn't take it on the street. You could how could you corner with that? It's like those big V8
Didn't you see it's got
big
those-
boss
No,
motors.
it's
got those
scissors.
big-
It has
does it?
4 wheels.
It's got these articulating arms on it. Yeah, it's got 4 wheels. It's kind
Like
of
the-
not even a motorcycle.
like the
not really.
Batmobile thing.
It's like the Batmobile thing.
Yeah.
Almost.
What's that?
Exactly.
They made 9 of them.
Seriously?
It's what Wikipedia says,
So
which
could
tends to be more
did
accurate
people
than anything else.
buy them?
No, I think they were just,
Gimmicks.
yeah, but they made 9 of them.
Wow.
Man,
Had
they
a
put
two
more- they
two
put-
speed transmission,
That's fast as fuck and faster than you can ever go.
completely unnecessary. You don't need gears. 1 gear would be perfectly fine.
So did they not make it for ethical reasons or financial reasons?
I would hope for
Yes.
ethical reasons.
Probably
I
ethical.
can't-
If they built 9 of them, it clearly wasn't financial.
Exactly.
It was definitely an ethical thing. It was like TVR and the Speed 12. We built this car. It's a real car. And we've decided it's too fucking crazy, so we're not going to build anymore, and we're not going to release it to the public.
We don't want to kill 100 millionaires this year.
So this says
It's hard for business.
people are all speculating because they don't have a clue because nobody did this. One person from Dodge said 400 miles an hour. One person said 0 to 60 in, let's see, what does it say here? 2.5 seconds, 300 miles an hour.
2.5 really isn't that fast.
You could buy a bike that does 2.5 now. It
Yeah,
won't do
but-
300 miles an hour.
No.
There's no way. But that's out of control. I'm glad they didn't
That's
make
probably
that.
a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing that they didn't make that. It was kind of stupid from the get-go, though.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
I think it's ugly.
Yeah, it looks dumb and doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, even from a publicity stunt, like, what did that gain them? What was the end goal?
People talked about Dodge.
Dodge building a motorcycle? That's not really...
It's not even their thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not even like Volkswagen that owns a motorcycle company, or did. I don't think they do anymore, but...
Yeah, I don't know. And it's not even really a motorcycle because it's got 4 wheels. It's just kind of all around stupid.
Yeah.
Cray cray.
What do you got, Adam?
So, my first one,
Okay.
I had as a Hot Wheels when I was a little kid even, because I loved it so much.
Okay.
Can I guess it?
Sure.
Is it that stupid Dodge El Camino van thing?
No.
Damn it.
What is a
Doria?
Dodge El Camino van thing?
Deora.
I got to look it up. Dodge
Doria? Doera? Duera?
Do
Diera?
Dioera.
Doera?
Oh, how did you pull this out of your ass, Robbie?
I do my
Because
research.
it was a Hot Wheel, and I saw that one too, and it is fucking rad, but I did not pick it.
No, that was definitely
That's
not
very-
going to production.
Yeah, very
None of my
60s.
cars were going into production.
All right, you
That's
go.
To me, that's not the point.
Very interesting. Okay.
The
anyway.
Pontiac Banshee. Okay, so this is going to make me look stupid, but I don't even care. Roman numerals, IV is 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When the I is in the front, it subtracts, right?
Yep.
Okay, the Pontiac Banshee 4, the IV.
This looks very...
Unveiled in 1988, two-door, four-seater, sleek, sensuous, futuristic design, fiberglass body, 230 horsepower, fuel-injected, single overhead cam V8.
It looks very
I had this
LT1 Firebirdie.
I had this on a folder when I was in elementary
Dude,
school.
aren't they rad?
No.
What?
It's a riced out Camaro with a body kit.
Doesn't it look like an LT1 Camaro? Like a first...
Uh-huh.
Like the first gen of the fourth gen Camaro.
Like a
It's just a
95?
Firebird.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it looks like to me.
It was intended to establish exterior and interior design themes that would then be modified for production version of the Pontiac Firebird. And it is...
I can see that.
It is quite obvious. You look at that and you look at like the Catfish era Firebird, like a WS6 or something like that, you can see it.
Yeah, that they absolutely
Yeah, it looks very
took,
similar.
There was a lot of design cue in it, so it did kind of, serve that purpose. So
What engine was it supposed to have?
I don't know. It has a 230 horsepower single overhead cam V8, which is a motor that GM never had.
Yeah, that's weird.
So they just put the LS in it and called it a day, and
But the time it would have been the LT
that would have been the LT at first.
in
Yeah.
88.
Yep.
But yeah, I just think it's cool. The dual rear wings are adjustable.
Is that, didn't they have another mid-engine car that was a concept Pontiac for a while?
Pontiac had a ton of crazy concepts. I have a mid-engine Cadillac concept,
What's that?
the CN, which was on Gran Turismo 5.
Oh, I do remember that one.
Mid-engine V12, 7.5 liter V12 makes 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, that's a car they should have made.
Yeah.
For no other reason other than it's just ridiculous.
It's so cool.
It's very cool.
It was on Gran Turismo 5, if anybody's ever played that. It was one of my favorite cars in that game, too. It was quick. Good times.
Yeah, you can see some of the first gen CTS.
Inspired by the F-22 Raptor.
Oh god, I hate that. It's inspired by a fucking fighter plane.
Every race car ever.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger in a fucking Tomahawk. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
That's what Wikipedia says, though. But yeah, the experimental engine had direct injection and displacement on demand back then. So, pretty advanced.
Interesting car.
Which are things
Yep.
that actually made it to production. Not
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
V12 and not in a mid-engine two-seater. But,
No, because the rear looks a lot like the CTSV.
Yeah.
The little coupe.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very
the kind of like
CTSV
pointed trunk thing.
styling language.
Yeah.
For sure.
See, again, like both these cars.
I guess I guess these cars, when you get down and you start to look at them, these cars did have some level of design philosophy that made it to production. Now, obviously, that car got nowhere close, but they did use the design language in real life.
Yeah, definitely.
IRL, as the kids say.
Sure. Yes.
So yeah, your pick. Yeah, I'd say your picks absolutely meet how I would define a good concept. Ones that actually led to technology advances later on.
Is there another Cadillac on your list, Adam?
There's another Cadillac and another Pontiac.
Is there a Cadillac 16 on your list?
Duh.
Okay. Just making sure.
What's a Cadillac 16?
Robert!
He said facetiously.
1,000 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, weighs 5,000 pounds.
That's the one that looks like the presidential limo.
Yeah,
type
the hood is
car.
half the length of the car.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think this is what Cadillac should be. I like the ridiculous,
It's ridiculous.
too many
It's just
superchargers and stuff
outlandish.
Cadillac, but this should be Cadillac. Like, nobody needs this. Come on.
Yeah, it's over the top luxury.
Can you make like 20 of these a year though,
The-
and like sell them to people in Saudi Arabia?
The center portion of the steering wheel is one giant piece of hand-carved crystal. You think Takata was killing people.
I can see why that didn't make it to production.
That I could see, but the engine was two LSs stuck together.
Basically, yeah.
So they could have
I'm on board.
made the engine.
Yeah.
It could have been done in theory.
It's a 13.6 liter, which for you Americans converts to 830 cubic inches. Wow. That's a big...
It's all the displacement,
car.
Robbie. It's all of it. And guess what? There is no replacement, sir. Fuck your
put
turbocharger.
blowers on it.
Fuck your
Yeah,
turbocharger.
they're boosted anyways.
Let's put a pair of turbochargers on that bad boy.
Put 4 turbos on it, 6. I don't know how many you can put on there. Just start slapping them on.
2 superchargers. Get 2 root style superchargers. Cut holes in the hood. Roadkill.
I don't know.
You totally derailed. Cadillac and Roadkill, like new Cadillac with 16 cylinders and Roadkill was apparently that was the formula for shutting down the whole show. It's never happened before.
I don't know.
Just fucking stop. It's done.
All right,
Show's done.
we can take a break.
I watched 3 episodes of Roadkill before I came here today. So
Oh my God, yeah, you've been home today.
yeah, I stayed on with a sick kid this afternoon. So
I was confused how that would work out, but makes sense.
But yeah, I'm totally. This for me should be Cadillac flagship. They're doing it wrong. That's the problem. They're not going stupid enough.
Cadillac needs to build this, and I'm probably gonna mow over somebody's party here, but Lincoln needs to build that Continental, and we just need to have these ridiculous flagship.
American flagship cars.
Mercedes should build that Maybach thing. Like, that should just be a thing. Like, cars with hoods that are 2/3 the length of the car itself, and just outlandish, insane stuff.
This one, the hood opens on either side.
Yeah, it's hinged in the center.
in the center.
The 16.
It's ridiculous.
It's so cool.
It's the way it should be.
It's
Weird.
so cool.
You know what they should do for a publicity stunt is build this, and then when the next president becomes president,
Give them one.
yeah, just have them like take their acceptance speech and then roll off in this badass Cadillac.
That's
It should
marketing.
have had like side pipes coming out of the right behind the wheels in the fender and the whole 9 yards. Just go crazy.
Oh, by the way, you said Continental. If they're going to build that, I don't think they're going to do suicide doors, which is wasting my time. Don't
But
even
they
build,
should.
Don't build
That's
the car.
what I'm getting at.
Don't build
like
the car
that's
then.
the kind of thing they should be building.
Nobody wants a Continental without suicide doors.
Fact.
Poll people and ask them, and they will say no. I'm serious. Don't bother making the fucking car. Just pack it up. Just shut the lights off in the building. Call the utility company. Shut it down.
Lincoln's on its way down,
Wasting my
down the
fucking
hill
time.
anyway. That would be the nail in their tiny little coffin.
Stop making fancier Tauruses. Stop. Give me suicide doors. And
Yes.
stop. Everybody needs to stop making a sports car too. Everybody wants to make a sports car. Don't make a sports car. Make a stupid huge sedan.
We need American luxury sedans again.
Yes, we do.
Nobody makes an American luxury sedan anymore. The closest thing you can get to an American luxury sedan is a Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Because they have this these huge executive limo things with big shouty V8s up front, and they do smoky burnouts, but you can barely hear it inside. That's what we need to be building here in America.
This has
That's what-
gotten
yeah,
an
that's what Lincoln
interesting
should be.
road. We've come back full circle to the whole reason this podcast exists. Because do you remember Chris Harris on Joe Rogan saying this exact same thing? I mean, not exactly, but saying, stop making sport sedan giant Luxo barge things. Stop it. Stop. Just, I want 15-inch wheels on my Mercedes so it doesn't ride like dog shit. Doesn't need giant brakes.
If I'm going to buy a sports car, I'll go to Porsche and I'll buy a sports car.
Yeah.
But if I want a luxury sedan, I should be able to get one. And right now they're sport sedans, and that's not luxurious.
Everybody wants to be sporty.
As much as I don't want to sound like James May because he's a fuddy-duddy, stop building cars on the Nürburgring.
Yes. This has gone down a weird path. What else is on your list?
My last one, you guys are going to hate this one
You don't know
so much. Oh, I do. Pull out your Google machines.
I got it.
The Pontiac Stinger.
No, I've heard of this.
This is what the Aztec
There we go.
should have been.
Oh my God, it's terrible. Robbie, did you find it yet?
Good Lord.
It's what the Aztec should have been.
For those that can't watch the YouTube video and thank us later,
Doing beach things.
I got nothing on it. It's an Aztec that looks like it crossed with a Firebird.
And then
It looks like a toy, like those
What's
big,
that?
those big wheel toy things.
What's
the
that
kids drive?
Isuzu thing that they made?
Not the tracker, like a Geo
Well,
tracker.
it's kind of like a
but-
tracker. Yeah.
you know what it kind of makes me think of? A four-door, sort of off-roady
That is not four-door.
four-wheel
There you go.
Polaris slingshot.
It's also
Very
like
plasticky and open.
it's also Citroen Cactus, which might be pulling out a really weird one for
yeah,
you guys.
you're
but
even out
Citroen,
on me
it's kind
there.
of Citroen-y, cactus-y. which
But
is
like,
weird.
So like the door pods are removable, and it had, I mean, like it was all set up for the beach. It had a table and chair. Like the seats would remove from the car, and you could sit on them on the beach.
There's a reason they never made this.
That's what the Aztec should have been.
89.
Because they tried to make
1989.
the Aztec like this thing
Camping
that you
thing.
could go and do stuff with. It was like the car for the person who wants to go out and experience the outdoors.
Yeah, because they had the attachable
Tent, and
thing.
there's like, it was one of the first cars to have an outlet, like a 120 volt outlet
Yep.
built into the back, and it has like an air compressor to inflate beach balls and shit like that on it. Like that's what they should have built. Something that was just silly and fun.
I hate to say it, but the Aztec, it makes a lot more sense than this.
Nobody
stupid thing.
in
I'm with you on
Iowa
that one,
would
Robbie.
have. They would have sold those in like 4 states:
The
Hawaii, California,
Maybe
Florida, and like I could see a bunch of
Mexico.
Jersey Shore douchebags cruising out in that thing.
No, that's not big enough. Because they gotta have room for their oils.
But you got to remember,
And
this
they're-
was the 80s, though.
Why can't you live in this century?
He loves the 80s, Robbie. He was born in the wrong century.
I see that.
I just think they're rad. Like, I would never own one. You couldn't pay me to own the stupid fucking thing, but that's the kind of car that I think that they should be building, just something that's fun and unapologetically ridiculous.
Funny thing is, if you saw somebody, you'd be like, look at that fucker.
Look at that
Yeah,
idiot.
but what a
Dumbass.
It was-
It's like
well-
it's like the Nissan Cross.
Cube.
No.
the Cross Cabriolet,
Cas
the Murano.
Cabriolet. Yeah, it's terrible.
So dumb. It fills no niches.
I like the Cube.
It is a convertible crossover SUV.
I like the Cube. You don't
With
like the
only
Cube?
No.
You don't like the Cube?
I hate the
It's
wraparound.
quirky. It's weird.
Were you
Wow.
about to say what's wrong with a convertible crossover?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Cube's got that. That
I don't like that.
wraparound
I don't like
glass.
the. That's.
It's expensive.
It's whatever. Neither here nor there, but
Nah, it's an ugly car.
Yeah, they're not good looking.
it's weird though.
It is
I gotta
weird,
give
but
them
it's
weird
not,
for doing
It's
something
not weird
weird.
in a good way though.
It's not Pontiac Stinger weird in a good way.
It's bad.
Nah, it's cool.
I have a Stinger on my list, and it's better.
It's
Are you
actually
ready?
called a Stinger?
It is.
Oh,
It's called
man.
a Kia GT4 Stinger.
Oh, I do remember that one.
Robbie, do you know what this is?
I think I saw this one when I was looking it up.
It's very sports car-y.
Came up quite a bit when I was just searching for concept cars. It's neat looking.
For a Kia, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think Kia should build it. It's very interesting looking. Plus, they have the engine already. It's just a 2-liter that they pumped up to 315
It's just
horsepower.
a turbo Optima motor, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's rear-wheel drive.
It would be the best looking Kia ever made.
It's
be-
very interesting.
Be a good Miata like option.
Yeah. I would say that it actually looks better than a Miata. I would rather drive this than a Miata.
Since they're not going to make a normal Genesis Coupe anymore,
Right.
it's going to be all fancy, I guess now.
Are they the same thing?
Kia and Hyundai.
Yeah, it's the same company.
Is it
Are they?
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh.
So they could easily make that car if they really wanted to.
And it wouldn't be that expensive or that over the top. Like
No. They
This-
could probably use the old Genesis platform that they were going to throw away anyway.
you could, yeah, say they do build this as it sits, you get it for $20,000 all day long.
That's what we need.
That's exactly what we need because I don't like the burrs or the furs.
Because it's just kind of...
Burrs furs.
It's
Don't
just
like 'em.
kind of meh.
It's different. It's weird. I like the weirdness of it.
My meh comment was for the
Yeah.
Toyo Baru.
Yeah, for
Not your Stinger.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like the Stinger. I'm all about it.
It kind of looks like, it reminds me of those Nissan things that came out a couple years ago that they're
Talking about like a Datsun return.
they like recreated those old race cars from like the 70s.
Yeah.
I can't think what they're called right now, which is terrible. But
I have a Datsun on my list, or it's a Nissan now. The IDX.
That's
Which
the
is what
one.
you were
That's what
talking
he's
about.
talking about.
You talking about the IDX?
Yes,
think
he
so.
is. They had like a...
that's
like
exactly what I'm
They
talking
had a
about.
Was it?
pedestrian
Yes.
one, and then they had a race car one.
Yeah, and but Nissan screwed up the concept. I was looking at the specs. So they only plan to put a 1.6 liter turbo in it, which is neither here nor there. But the only option on a concept in their mind was a CVT.
Fail.
That was when Nissan was like, look how awesome our CVT is, though.
I will tell you, it is not awesome.
And everybody's like,
Nobody likes it anymore.
it looks like a crazy 510 thing. We should get a manual. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of... No. CVT only, sir.
Engine swaps all day long.
It looks cool.
transmission swaps.
This would be a great car to swap.
It looks really cool.
They should sell this as a roller.
Can you sell it to us without...
Can I put an LS in that?
Can I go to the Nissan website and order an IDX without the drivetrain? I can handle that.
Oh my God.
Business idea.
They should do that.
I mean, really?
Just LS swap everything?
How cool would that be if you could buy cars without the drivetrains in them from the factory?
It should be an option. Like you can buy a crate engine.
What would you buy if
You know what I would buy? It's a really fucking lame answer because everybody's been talking about it today.
Go on.
I buy a 124 Barth and LS swap it.
Yeah, I was going to say Miata because I'd forgotten about the Fiat.
But see, everybody's been talking about that today because one guy from Flying Miata said, we could put an LS in one. And then
they already put one in the ND, so...
It's on 50 news sources. They're going to build one. But then you read it and they're like, well, they're not actually going to build one. But if you asked them to build one and you gave them $50,000,
then they
would
could.
do it.
Yeah, totally.
Did you see...
Well, of course.
Did you see that Mazda was actually kind of mad about the ND LS swap that they built?
Why were they
Because
mad?
it was faster than their car?
I don't know. They were just kind of butthurt about the whole deal. But then GM shared that on their...
Neat. Look at this.
On one of their social media platforms.
Go GM. That's
Go
awesome.
GM.
That's how it
I guess
should be.
that makes up for their lack of Caprice coverage with the Ford GTs.
Still pissed about that. That's the most traffic we've gotten on Twitter all week is from that.
It's
That's
true.
awesome.
And you didn't even really hashtag much.
No,
of
I
it.
was going to tag I wasn't going to tag Ford, but I thought about tagging GM and then I didn't.
Could have hashtag Caprice and Ford GT or something, though.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's not too late.
People were into
can
it.
still
I
do
could repost it later this week. Or next week, now that it's next week. But yeah, I like the IDX. It looks cool.
They were really cool. The not race one I wasn't super into, but the race car one was pretty cool.
What else have I got on my list? I had some Cadillacs also. The Escala, which I don't think they're going to make. It's
No.
not quite an Escalade. They're probably not going to make that.
No.
But it looks like an A7 and it's got a twin turbo V8 in it.
Did you see interior shots of it now?
Are there interior shots?
Because there were interior shots when we talked about it before.
Oh, maybe.
And it's so cool. It's
Let's
very
look it
good.
up on the Google machine. Yeah, I like it. It's a good looking car all around.
I could say we'll edit that gap out, but we
We're not going to edit
No,
shit out.
don't- don't
It's
bother.
too much work at this point. Oh, yeah. Yeah, real sleek, real slim. It's got like a kind of a real thin steering wheel.
Yeah.
But it's very modern looking.
Yeah.
I like
it's
it.
cool.
That could go
Cool
into
interior.
production.
I hope that interior design language is what
Carries
we're
over.
seeing moving forward.
I see Cadillac design elements, but it's better. You know what I mean? It's like progress. Just make that fucking car and make it rear wheel drive and make it really big and stupid
Yeah.
and make
it comfy.
yeah.
And let me do burnouts in it.
Yeah. And maybe like somebody tune it so it makes way too many horsepower, like 900 or whatever.
Hennessy or something.
Yeah.
Not Hennessy.
Okay, like a reputable Hennessy.
There you go.
I had the Cadillac Voyage on my list
I've
as
never
well.
heard of that at all.
You got that one over there, Robbie?
I did
Cadillac, if you saw it, basically what it is it's interesting that it's called the Voyage because it looks like a boat thing.
That thing's ugly.
Is that the new one? Or are you looking at the old one?
The old one looks like a Caprice.
Oh, yeah, no, that's terrible.
It is a Caprice. It's just a Cadillac Caprice. I'm certain that's what that was built on.
I can't find anything new.
new
All I
one?
got,
Oh,
all I got is
the
the old one.
CEL. Well, how did I fuck that up? CIEL, Robbie.
All right, hold on.
Look that up.
CIEL.
I must have taken that off an old website. Check that out.
Oh,
They should have made, again, it's just a big fucking car.
Suicide doors.
that needs to be made as that fucking drop top.
Huge car, suicide doors,
That drop top is rad.
makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the
They should
old
make
Lincoln
that.
Continental reincarnate. I love it. I like where
What's in
your-
it?
I like where your head is at with all these.
It doesn't matter. I didn't
concepts.
even look it up because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
just sweet as it is.
Yeah, you're right. That drop top is sick.
And if you're listening to this on the Shout engine, you should probably just go to YouTube because the pictures will be there, and this will make a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, this will
It's hard to
definitely be a
look at
YouTube
concept
episode.
cars on a podcast or a radio show. The other thing I found, which I was trying to find the car that you were talking about, Adam, but I found this instead. Did you guys hear about an EcoJet? Cadillac EcoJet.
Is this like one of those old turbine cars that
Yeah.
GM was trying to do in the 50s?
No, but it's new, and Jay Leno was involved in it.
Oh, yeah. He actually has it. It's like his car.
Oh, he owns it?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't think they should make it because
He's got a thing
ugly.
for turbine cars.
It doesn't look very good.
I'm pretty sure he drives it in one of his Jay Leno Garage episodes.
I saw that. I didn't realize that
He
he
sits
owned
there
it,
and
though.
screams at you because it's a
So
fucking
fucking
jet
loud. It's got
engine.
probably no
You've
sound
seen,
editing.
he's got the motorcycle that has an Apache jet turbine on it.
Yeah, I saw that one, and it's terrifying
He says
because
it's not very fast from a standing start, but there is nothing faster from a roll.
I was watching it, and like it doesn't immediately respond to inputs. That's terrifying on a motorcycle.
That's because it's got a spool up. It's just a big turbo.
It's interesting, but it's terrifying at the same time. Doesn't it make like 400 horsepower or something too?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's out of control.
But this turbine EcoJet thing makes 650 horsepower. Again, I don't know necessarily that they should do it. It was just interesting. It fits Robbie's definition of a concept car because it's ridiculous.
Yes, and there's technology there that could be used.
Yeah, they're not going to put turbines in pedestrian vehicles.
No, but
We'll see hydrogen fuel cells before we see turbines.
yeah. Well, that's kind of how I felt about one of mine was the, I can't pronounce it, Mazda Furia.
Oh, yeah. Top Gear burned that car
They
down.
burned it to the ground.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, so Mazda made one of them, and then they brought it to Top Gear and let them do an exclusive.
That was quite a car, wasn't it?
It was for Top Gear magazine, not the show, right?
Right. Well, yeah, probably.
Maybe
I don't
both.
know.
Probably both. Why
Yeah,
not?
probably both.
But yeah, they did a whole track day thing in it, and they were doing all the pictures, and then they went over the hill, and it burst into flames, and they couldn't save it. So the only one in existence burned to the ground.
That was quite a car, like motor-wise and stuff like that,
Yep.
wasn't it?
Well, it was based on the LMP2 car.
Okay.
So then it kind of looks like a Batmobile.
Did it have their diesel engine in it?
I don't have the answer for that. It was 450 horsepower. It's the R20B rotary engine.
Oh, yeah, 20B would be a rotary motor.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Interesting. When we were talking about not rotary, but turbine cars,
Uh-huh.
I thought about the Cadillac CX-75 or Jaguar. Sorry, Jaguar
Oh,
CX-75.
yeah, actually that came to my head too when we were talking about it.
Damn,
the one that
778 horsepower.
has a turbine that spins electric motors.
Yeah, it kind of made sense. Like, kind of.
I thought it was really
weird.
funny because that's when electric cars were just kind of becoming a thing. And Jaguar throws this one out there. Here's an electric engine driven car, but we use a jet motor to charge the batteries.
And you can put basically anything in it you want.
Perfect.
I was like,
And it makes 800
Jaguar
horsepower.
gets it.
It makes 800 horsepower, and it's stupid and ridiculous. And the seats don't move. The dash bin moves around, and the pedals move around. Because don't fuck up our weight distribution.
Race car.
Interesting. Should have made it. It sounded like for a while that they were really thinking about making it. They're like, we're going to make it.
It's a pretty rad looking car,
We're going
too.
to make it. And then, because it says here they were going to charge 700,000 pounds for it. And then they didn't make it.
In
Sucks.
the day of like $1 million hybrid cars, that's not a terrible price
No, not for...
for that.
You could tell people you have a jet engine in your Jag. I mean,
I have a jet engine that charges the batteries for my electric motor.
yeah, exactly. How wasteful is that? Screw you.
The irony of it is so funny.
I think it's really neat, and they should have made it. It's too late now, I guess. What
Anymore?
else I got? Audi Quattro. Can't believe that wasn't on your list. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They could have made it. They
Yeah.
didn't make it. Or they should have made the TT look like that. It looks neat.
They've made a couple of TT prototypes that they could have made and didn't that were pretty cool,
Cool looking.
but I don't know. I'm feeling really beat up with Audi lately.
They don't even own an Audi.
I know.
They're still beating them up.
Wow.
It's a love-hate relationship with Audi.
But
I get that.
the TT is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
There's a reason.
And oh, I know, and I'm not saying I want one again, but like I see them more and more often in the hands of kids, and so they've been modified lightly, and then I see them and I think, man, I wish I could have got that done to my car. And I'm not. Calm down, everybody who's pulling out their cell phones and texting me right now. I'm not gonna buy another one. Just stop, Josh. It's gonna be okay. But
I don't know, man. Every time I say I'm not going to do something on the podcast, something changes in my life, and I
And you
go a
do it?
path I'm not ready to go
oh,
down.
don't you worry. In about 6 months, I already have a bit planned.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, for me?
for you.
Yeah. Everything that I planned on not doing.
We're going to be
I'm stuck doing,
replaying about a 15-second segment of a previous episode in about 6 months.
where I'd say I'm done with my car.
I'm not going to go any farther.
He's got dates in his calendar.
I know he
Remember the
does.
last episode? I only had the one for the tracks, but he's got stuff in it. Robbie said this.
I know.
April 22nd. A year from now.
I plan way ahead here.
Set that for 2017. Alarm. Time of event.
Yep.
Fuck Robbie. And then I'm going to get him.
No, I know it's coming. I said it, and then the engine never ran, so I said, fuck it, and I pulled it. So
Michael never makes any bold claims like that, or else I do it to him too.
I've been burned. Just not publicly. Like
I'm
to
equal-
3 people instead of,
I just want everybody to know I'm equal opportunity. I would do it to Michael if he'd say something stupid and then change his mind on it. But like when he goes, oh, I'm going to take the Fiat drifting, he actually does it. So
Yep.
Yeah, get your shit together, Robbie.
Hey, I'm letting you cut the side skirts off.
And
I
I
know.
couldn't be more happy and proud.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel purely for that, because guess
It's
what?
coming.
That is
We're
going to
gonna-
be an event.
We're going to figure out how to live stream YouTube just
I think we're
for
gonna.
it.
I think we're gonna live stream it on Facebook, and then we're gonna shoot it, and we're actually gonna put it
you
on.
can
our
live
YouTube.
stream to YouTube too.
Yep.
I think we
You can.
should do that to try and push people to subscribe.
Just go to YouTube and
Here's
watch
our-
some
our,
stupid crap that we're gonna do to Robbie's car.
Yeah.
Get excited, Robbie.
No, I'm not
Be
excited.
pumped. When are we doing
I'm,
that?
I'm ready to have a nervous breakdown.
When are we
already.
doing it?
Let's get this engine out and going first.
Josh and I have already talked. We're planning some stuff.
Nice.
We're gonna pick a date
Which
for you,
Josh?
because you're not gonna pick a date.
Josh LePetri.
Petrie.
Nice. That's good.
I'm gonna bring any supplies that he needs.
I was
Sawzall blade.
I was pricing snow chains this week too, just so you know.
Actually, I got an offer from somebody to have some snow chains. Do you want these snow chains? But I think I
Yes,
have
we
some. Snow,
do.
I think I have some snow chains.
Whoever offered those, if Michael turns you down, hit me up. I want them.
It was Tim, but I think they were like the cable kind. I want chains because I wanted him to pull out of his driveway and be like, "What? Damn it! It's the worst day ever. Staying home."
That'll be the one day he's running a little bit late too, and so he's just gonna have to drive it to work, or else he's gonna
No,
be
he's
late
just gonna
that
pack
day.
it in. He's just fuck it, just put it away. Let's deal with this tomorrow.
Yep. I'm
No,
just
going back to bed.
Try again tomorrow.
I'm calling it dead today. Sorry, I'll be back in
It's a
tomorrow.
personal day. I'm sorry. We clearly got derailed. I have one more that
Okay.
I was going to say. That this is one that I actually think they should have made. It's the Ford Shelby GR1.
I saw that one when I was
And
scrolling.
it's
through.
based on the Daytona. And they made it in like 2007. So obviously, if they were going to make this, I would not make it polished aluminum. I would just paint it.
Yeah, because that ended well for DeLorean.
Yeah, it looks like shit. And then they had a 6.4 liter V10 in it, and if they were going to make this in production, they just take the 5 liter Mustang motor and drop that in. And be
You
done
know
with
that's
it.
what they would have maybe blown it, but that's all they would. You know
Right.
that's what
There's
they
no-
would have done with
There's
it.
no
They
way
wouldn't
they're
have
making a
made
new
V10.
engine for this type of car.
I wonder if that's the V10 they put in the truck.
That
Maybe.
could be.
It's this. Yeah, this is all.
I don't know
aluminum.
anything
Do they-
about that motor
Triton.
other than it's terrible.
Do they do all aluminum in their trucks?
No.
Then no, this is the same one.
Okay, fair enough.
But then, I lost where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry.
an interesting looking car for sure. It was right around that same time when they came out with the GT.
Yeah.
And it actually kind of looked like the concept car from a couple years earlier. So they could have made, I mean, if they had stuck with that spirit, they could have made it.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
Air quotes.
And then that reminds me where I was going to go with that. If they were going to go, they would definitely not do a different engine because they didn't even do a different engine on the GT. They used, like you always call it, the fucking Taurus motor.
No,
That was
The
the
Eco Boost.
the
No,
old
that-
one.
no.
The old one was
Oh.
a Ford Lightning
Right.
motor.
Yeah, even that they used it. They used another
truck
engine they
motor.
already used.
Yeah.
So
Could have made it.
should have made it. I think this would sell. I mean, don't make it $100,000, but I think you could sell this car.
Yeah. It'd have collector value like the GTs now. The 05 GTs. They're worth a whole shitload of
absolutely.
money. Yeah. I'm going to say one that might start a fire. The Bronco rendering that the random dude made that everybody's fucking using this week.
They should make that.
They should make that.
Michael.
They should make that one. They're
No.
not. They're not going to make
They're
it.
never gonna make it. I don't
Here's
care
the deal.
what this.
Backstory from 1010's podcast is the only fucking place you can hear this. Guess where this story broke? It broke on Bloomberg back in September of 2015, I think. And some air quotes Ford insider said that they were going to make a Bronco.
No, some graphic designer on Instagram.
Well, no, so somebody from Ford said they're going to make a Bronco. Don't know who it was. This past week, a guy from the Auto Workers Union who is not Ford, by the way, just the Auto Workers Union, said they're going to make a Bronco. They may make a Bronco. I don't know that for a fact. That dude doesn't work for Ford, and that drawing is not from Ford. So
No,
stop.
it's just some...
There's too many different pieces that they're making a Bronco. It looks like, no.
And they're going to build it in Michigan.
We don't know any of these things yet. Everybody was
America.
taking it as gospel this week. They're making a Bronco. It looks like this. They're making it in Michigan. Thank you, Donald Trump. It was like, whoa.
That was cool.
Just
We went
stop
way
for a
too
second.
far here.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my rant.
Because
on Bronco.
that rendering is just some
I'm hot and I'm warm. Now.
freelance...
Sweating.
It's hot in here.
It's a little warm.
Robbie's
Sorry,
dutching out on us and not using his AC.
It's like 60 degrees outside. I'm not using AC.
That rendering is... They should just make that. Like, find that dude
But that
and
rendering
pay
is,
him.
is just a privately produced rendering, and did not come from a Ford employee.
Random dude made that.
Because didn't that come from like some Bronco forum or something like that? One of their members made it?
Yeah, I
Or
don't know.
something like that. I
Or,
think
yeah,
that
like you
was the
said
story
before. It was
behind
an Instagram photo or so. I don't even know. You should hire that guy.
And
He
then,
should design all of your trucks
yeah,
from moving
build it.
forward.
Yeah,
from
for
now on.
sure. But
But
just,
read between the lines a
I
little bit.
wish that picture would just go away already.
Because everybody used it, and then everybody used it but changed the color of it.
It comes back like every
God,
2 or
it's
3
fucking
years.
terrible. Stop. Stop telling people they're going to make this. It's not going to happen. It's not going to look like that. They may make it. They said they're going to make
they're
4 more SUVs,
Yep.
whatever that means. They may make it.
They're
going to
be crossover SUVs, don't.
They're all 4 crossover SUVs.
Does Ford make a big Excursion-esque?
I don't think they do anymore.
Not that
The
big.
Explorer is the only thing they make right now, is it? They don't make one on their truck chassis.
No.
Like GM does. That'll be one of them then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
now,
they'll
the gas,
probably-
now the gas prices are low. They're going to bring the
It's
Excursion
gonna
type
change.
vehicle back.
OPEC is cutting production. Didn't you read?
No, I did not.
Me.
Robert, you got to stay up on news.
You guys want to go to the news?
Okay, I got one more. And this is that was my rant, and this is my other rant. The Buick Avista.
Oh, that was not the rant I thought you were gonna end with.
This is the rant. I was
This is the
expecting.
car that I would have bought if they would have made it.
Yeah,
These
he wouldn't
fuckers.
be driving a Trailblazer right now. He'd
I
still
would've
be
waited.
driving his Veloster and waiting
So I could
for
get
his,
an Avista. Twin turbo V6 Avista. Don't waste my time with a V8 nonsense.
built
I
on
want
the,
a V6.
built on the Camaro platform.
Built
right?
on the Camaro platform. Looks gorgeous.
What do they call it, the Alpha or whatever that platform is.
Yeah. They already put the CTS or the ATS on it.
Yep.
Just do it. Just fucking do it. Just build it. It's not that hard.
No, it looked production ready. Like it was.
It looked good.
It looked like you wanted to change a damn thing. You just
Maybe put
Build
some
it to this.
bigger mirrors on it. Call it a day.
Yep.
And the whole fucking internet was like, "This is great. Buick's coming back. This is where do I send my money?" And
Yeah,
they're
this-
like, "Nah, man, we're not gonna make
Yeah,
it.
it's a sign of things to
JK
come.
guys.
Screw you. Fuck you, Buick."
That was a big dick tease.
It was. It's a great looking car. Would have been stupid, silly, awesome.
It would have sold.
It would have sold.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
would
yeah,
have sold.
for sure.
It would have sold.
But it also would have killed the ATS-V and the Camaro.
Cut the ATS. I will go that far. Cut the ATS.
Well, because
Coupe.
Cadillac shouldn't be building those. They should be building giant Luxo barges.
You can make a CTS-V. I'm fine with that. And you can make stupid, giant, limited production vehicles.
build more CT6s and above.
But let me have my Avista.
So I got one more quick rant, and then we'll move on with our lives.
All right. It's a very ranty episode. I like it.
The mid-engined Corvette.
They've been talking about this since...
How many
Since they made the
generations?
Corvette.
How many generations have they? Oh my
C8,
God!
bro.
The
C8.
next one. The next
It's a
one.
C8, bro.
The next one is going to be a mid-engine. I'm pretty sure at least C5, if not C4, when they started talking about building the next gen, it was going to be mid-engine.
Well, they did a Corvette.
and it won't die.
Didn't they do a Corvette concept like in the 60s that had a mid-engine in it?
Yeah.
Probably.
So, I mean, it's been a thing since Corvettes have been a thing.
Actually, I think
Like, isn't
I think that one of the early Banshees, like 2 or 3 or 1 or 2,
Yep.
was sistered with the mid-engined Corvette.
Yeah, I think
concept.
you're right, now that you mention that. But like, at this point, isn't it heritage just to have the front engine,
Engine in the
rear-wheel
front.
drive, and then always have it just be a concept to be a mid-engine? And then if Chevy would ever go that route, would you not just name it something else?
Well, so here's what they're doing. Here's what everybody's speculating right now, and I think it actually makes sense as much as I hate the idea. And not that I hate the idea. I think it's a good idea. I just hate that it keeps coming back and won't just die already. What everybody's saying is the C7 is basically the pinnacle of what we can do in a front-engine rear-wheel drive layout. you're really not going to make any significant performance gains beyond what that car is now. Like, you can't make that chassis accelerate any better. You can't make that chassis layout accelerate better. You can't make it handle any better. It's basically, where we stand today, it's as good as it'll ever be. The only way that they can significantly improve the Corvette's performance is by building a mid-engine variant. And so what people have been speculating is that they're going to build the C7 and the C8 simultaneously, and the C7 will be what it is, and the C8 will be the mid-engine variant thereof. And then towards the tail end of the C7 production run, they'll do 150 special editions, hearkening back to this Corvette and this famous guy and that famous guy and line production worker B, and then they'll kill the front engine one altogether, and finish out the C8, and 9 moving forward will be mid-engined.
I don't really see it going like it makes sense. I wouldn't argue with the fact that they at this point they are kind of at the limit of what that car can do. That
layout, that chassis configuration.
But I don't know. To me, changing a car like a Corvette and then having it go from what it's been for 50 years and then putting the engine in the rear and having it be a completely different design, a completely new car. At that point, keep the Corvette what it is. Either kill the Corvette off and be done with it and move on to another vehicle. But like, to me, putting the Corvette name on a rear engine or mid-engine car, I wouldn't go as far as say blasphemy, but
I think it would be more of a flop than the new GTO was. And despite the fact that I love that car and I think we all three enjoy that car, it probably would have done better if they wouldn't have called it a GTO.
Without a doubt.
And I think that the Corvette would be even more so in that boat if they made it mid-engined.
Yeah, I can't speak on behalf of like Corvette lovers and people that are all about heritage, but to me, if they were going to go that route, just go with a new car. Just be like a totally new name. This is your new mid-engine car, and that's our sports car now.
Call it the Corvair.
Don't call it the Corvette. Don't put the engine in the back.
So I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. I had one small note to end that one on, but now I can't remember it, so it doesn't matter.
Moving on.
We're
through the news.
It's on the news, Robbie.
So AMG they're building a hypercar, and apparently it's going to have the V6 Formula One engine, and it'll be road legal.
So this is they're clearing the air on that stupid 1,000 horsepower 4-cylinder thing that had been
floating around.
Circulating, and they're like, no, we are building a hypercar, but you guys are crazy, and this is what we're actually building.
Yes. So they're kind of they're very much following suit with Aston Martin and Red Bull, because they teamed up and they're going to we're taking our Formula One technology and we're going to put it on the street. They're doing the same thing here. They're going to take their Formula One not chassis, but like their drivetrain, and they're going to
put it in a car,
modify it, and put it in a street car, sell it for $2 million.
It sounds like they're going to do it, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
they said
it sounded like they're pretty serious about it.
They said that AMG and Mercedes-Benz are going to make at least 10 performance models in the upcoming years. Oh. So it's not just this car, but like they're going to be teaming up and building AMG cars.
Oh boy.
So I remember what I was going to say, and it kind of fits this news topic as well. I think that we are on kind of a bubble like we were in the late 70s and early 80s, where we have reached as good as our cars are going to get for a while, and we're about to start going off the back of that hill, and our cars are going to get worse for a little while before they start becoming better again.
So you're saying what decade were the cars worse?
70s and early 80s.
Okay. So I want to clarify that you said that the cars were worse in the 80s.
That doesn't make them change the fact that I love them. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, they choked down the V8s so badly because they were trying to get them to pass emissions. Like, that's the sort of stuff that's about to happen to us again. And then when we get to the point where we've figured out whether we're going to do hybridization or hydrogen fuel cell or whatever that final outcome is going to be, and then we can start building performance vehicles off of that platform again, then we'll start coming back up again. But at this point, we've reached as much as we can do within what the government has decided they're going to allow us to do, and this is as good as it's going to get. and that bubble's about to break, and these hypercars are going to be the tail end of that bubble.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. Because, yeah, we have an issue with emissions with any car we make now. Like, if we modify it or make it more performance-based or it's quicker or you take the cat back and you change your muffler, it's illegal. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to produce cars like that, it's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah, car companies are already paying fees to the EPA every year because their fleet output's too high.
Yeah.
As a fleet.
It's cheaper to pay the EPA
fee.
than try and figure out how to get the car there.
Which they're going to have to figure out something different there. I mean, I know the government loves charging fees for not adhering to things, but if they can't do it or it doesn't make business sense, then it's not going to happen. So they're going to have to figure something else out. But as far as this hypercar goes, it's pretty sick, though. No, that's all right. That's a good rabbit trail to go down. But
yeah, there's not a lot of information on it besides the fact that, yeah, they're going to take the technology from their Formula One car and build a hypercar.
So do they say they're literally going to use that motor, or are they going to use something based on it like Honda did with that S660?
it sounded like they were actually going to use that like more of that motor than that S660, where it's like we kind of took a drawing of the block and just made it work. This sounds more like we're going to use the block, or
it might have
going to use most of the components.
Yeah,
more standard turbo than this electric turbo thing they're using now, maybe, and maybe have a little bit less compression or something like that.
Was it going to have DRS on it? Did they say anything about that?
All they said was that it will have the powertrain from the current Mercedes-Benz Formula One car with a modified gearbox, and it will be made of carbon fiber.
Robbie's in.
Did you put your money down?
Yeah, because I just have.
You just got it laying around.
I can't even get a 240 to run. I've definitely got money for a
well, you know,
hypercar.
if you're giving up on the 240, this might be a good option.
It'd probably be cheaper.
Wow.
Impressive. SR20s.
Yeah, that's really all I got on the AMG. If you guys want to keep going.
What else we got?
We'll just keep an eye on it. It'll be fun to see what they come up with.
Yeah, because I love the looks of the Aston Martin, or the AMRB 001 or whatever they called it.
Stupid.
Which that was still a rendering, and they don't.
Yeah.
That we don't know that that's what that car is going to end up looking
Yep.
like.
So if they follow that type of direction, it's going to be a gorgeous car with insane amounts of power, and it's going to be the most amazing car ever.
I like these vehicles with big negative spaces, like the Ford GT.
Yep.
And stuff like that. I like that
All the
design, that aero race car wind tunnel thing.
Make it
I
look like a pig from Angry Birds. I'm on board.
And you had to ruin it. Thanks. So the RS3 sedan is finally being brought to the U.S., but will not be coming with the L4. It'll have the
Inline
2.5
4.
Inline 4.
Getting the 2.5
They call
inline
it
5.
L, but I don't know why they do that.
Oh, weird. It'll have the 2.5 liter.
Yay!
5-cylinder.
Five-cylinder
Inline 5,
things.
Robbie. It's better.
No, it's not.
It
Yeah,
is
it's
better.
like a
Have
mini
you heard
Gallardo.
it? It sounds like a little Gallardo.
Oh, we've talked about this
Yeah,
before.
that's why I put it on here, because I knew it would annoy you once you figured out what it
Just
was
keep
about.
throwing it in there.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I just put it back in there again just to piss you off.
If everyone that's listening is annoyed with this stupid car like I am, text these two and tell them it's move on.
Let us know how much you love it.
Dude, it's going to be super sick dope, man. For
Son.
real. Son. Super sick. Why do you got to hate on the inline 5 with a turbo on it?
You don't even know what you're missing, Robin.
Yeah, have you
Just
heard?
because you're all like
just
V8 growly,
YouTube it.
snarly noises.
I'm just...
Yeah, stop with the LS swap talk for 2 seconds, okay? Inline 5s with turbos on them
Yeah.
are dope.
We'll talk about broken down Audis all the time. That's fine.
This one's new. I would get it on a lease, and I would get it with a warranty, and then I would turn it in 2 years. 2 years is my max lease time on this.
If only I drove few enough miles for me to be able to lease things, I would do that.
4 seconds, 0 to 60, which is slower than a Camaro, but it's neither here nor there, Robbie.
You'll be way more luxurious while you're doing it.
It'll be way angrier all the time.
Rawr.
So is this RS3 going to have the hatchback, or is this going to be the sedan?
Sedan.
The sedan.
I think the hatchback they already confirmed for us.
Okay.
That was the last story we talked about and annoyed you with.
That's right.
No, I think they weren't doing the hatchback, and you were mad about that.
Could be, I
You
don't know.
missed that one.
Yeah,
think you
because
missed it.
I
Yeah.
talked about the TT,
Yeah. Yes.
DRS.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So we're just getting the sedan.
And it's going to
Bummer,
cost like
dude.
$50,000
That's not bad.
for an Audi that's going to break on you.
Yeah, but it's heritage. Race motor.
Yeah.
Quattro.
Yeah.
Rally.
Quattro things.
Well, aren't they going to use that in their race car version of it?
I think so.
No, that's the inline 4.
That gets
ruined it.
the 2-liter TFSI in it.
Yes.
So it's just a Golf R.
Yeah. Damn it. It only makes 330 horsepower, too.
But it's like one of the cheapest, like, full bore
Here's a race car.
factory built race cars that money can buy.
It's built for a specific class, and I honestly can't remember what class it is.
Well, so
Touring car.
Is it touring?
Yeah,
And
there's
they can
touring
they can
car.
only have 330 horsepower. Like,
That's your max.
They
Yep.
use 2-liter motors. All of them have 2-liter
Okay.
motors, and all of them have 330 horse. But they also, I believe, will use those cars in a spec series that comes up is the pre-race for like DTM.
okay.
Last year they were doing that with the TT Cup, and it's like a feeder series for DTM. And I'm guessing that's what is going to replace the TT Cup car, which was bitchin'.
If I had $110,000 and I felt like I needed to do race car things, I would probably buy that. I mean, if I needed like a new race car,
I wonder if
That's
that
kinda
car
cheap.
I wonder if that car fits in any like Pirelli World Challenge classing, so you can actually race it stateside, or do I have to take it to Europe or the UK to be able to race it in a touring car series?
it's a good question. I don't know.
These are
I
questions.
like
that
it.
have
I
answers for.
like.
It's cool looking.
It's better than what's a spec like a new spec Miata cost?
The Miata Cup car.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know the slightest clue.
The actual race car one,
I
though,
don't
not
know
the.
the slightest
I
clue.
think it's like $40,000 or something crazy.
There is no race car on the market that interests me less
than the Miata Cup race car thing. It's kind of where I'm at. That's why I was like, really, $40,000 or $45,000 or whatever it was. Seems
It
crazy.
could be $4,000. I'm not interested.
It's a little harsh. It's good value for money, Robbie.
It's cool.
This would be a cheaper race car than an SR20 240.
Probably less headaches.
Just FYI. It's ready to go.
Yeah, because it comes with an engineer.
Oh gosh.
That's kind of the thing about buying those
my
cars.
car comes with an engineer too, and it doesn't help
Do
anything.
more engineering things, Robbie.
That's kind of the thing about those cars is they come with factory support.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they?
Should do it.
So I bet you, having not looked into this, I'll bet you this is the front wheel drive only as well. Like
It
they
is.
did
Yes, it is.
with
It
the
is.
TTRS race
Yep.
car.
Yep.
They actually decided with the TTRS race car that they made a few years ago that by removing the rear wheel drive portion of the all-wheel drive system, they could make a faster car because the classing allowed way less weight to a front-wheel drive car than to an all-wheel drive car, and they felt that that car was faster by being front-wheel drive than all-wheel drive. That was believed to be the fastest factory-produced front-wheel drive car on the planet.
Neat.
What else you got, Robbie?
Dodge is making a Raptor fighter with their Rebel TRX concept. So it's kind of fits our concept discussion today.
They make a Rebel now.
Yes.
This one's fancier. It does
See, I
more
didn't
things.
know that they made a Rebel. What is this Rebel?
It's
that
Luke,
you speak
Luke's
of?
got one. Luke that was on the show.
Yeah, and
He's
you
got
say
one.
that, and I don't.
Isn't
It's got a grill, and it's got some tires.
It's kind of like the No Fear Edition Titans they came out with a few years
Yeah.
ago. It was just
So
a
it's
grill,
just a-
some emblems, and like some.
I think it's got knobby tires on it. It might
Yeah.
be taller.
It's mostly a visual package.
Yes.
to the best
Probably.
to the best
For
of my
the
knowledge.
for the sake of being probably wrong, I will say yes.
Luke, if you actually still listen, let us know, I guess.
Yep. So the TRX concept is taking the Hellcat motor and putting it into a Dodge Ram,
But then, like,
and then
detuning
also,
it.
yeah, they're already tuning it to 575.
75. Yep. Which is more
Which is enough.
more than a Raptor, I think.
Yeah, so
Yes.
see, the reason I kind of wanted to talk about this is because I know both of you guys were at least mildly bummed out about the fact that they're killing the V8 in the Raptor.
Putting a Taurus motor in the Raptor.
And then
Yeah,
Dodge is
that's-
all like, "Hey, look at us! We can build a Raptor-like car, and we'll put your V8 in it, and then we'll add a helping of supercharger on top of that."
It's more better.
Yeah, 575 horsepower on my off-road truck. That'll be just fine.
They say it'll do 100 miles an hour off-road, whatever that means.
See,
I
that's
don't even know what that
that
means.
doesn't mean anything.
What does that mean?
Is it?
I can do 100 miles an hour off-road, too.
Is this kind of like every car will do 10,000 RPM once?
Right, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that is. Like, what does this off-road look like? Is it a flat? Is this Bonneville? Because that's off-road. I'm sure it will do 100
Yeah, I'm
miles
sure
an
it
hour.
will too.
Every car
just
can
a
do
gravel-
100 miles an hour off-road once.
Yeah, just on the gravel road, or are we
You
doing
can do
it in
100
the
miles
field?
an hour on a... Right, exactly. What the fuck does that mean?
Come on, Dodge, get it together.
Get your shit together.
We know you're lying to us.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Do they consider Iowa gravel roads to be off-road?
Off-road? That's kind of
I bet they-
Because
off-road.
some people do.
It's off-road to them.
Some people do.
To the way most of these people are going to drive this truck, I'm sure it is off-road.
Yeah.
The really
That's true.
funny thing about this was I read that it was built for the State Fair of Texas.
That's exactly what they said.
The state fair.
The State Fair
Not
of
even
Texas.
just the state.
No, they built it for the State Fair of Texas. That's where they're taking it.
Perfect.
It's like, all right. At least you know your market.
Yeah, it's true. And
But then it's got to have Texas badges on it.
Well, they do those Texas edition Silverados.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, which I think are just the badges.
it's stupid.
Just
Yeah, but
to
it says
remind
Texas
you-
on it,
to
and you can
remind
charge
you
more money
the shape
for it.
of Texas and how to spell
You
it,
could-
and then charge you $10,000.
Yeah. Oh, it's so stupid. I remember being down in Houston, and every Silverado says Texas edition on it. I'm like, are
And
they
all
even
of their
different?
overpasses have the Texas
Is it even different?
silhouette on them. It's like,
Yeah, we get
are
it.
you worried that you were going to forget the shape of your beloved state? What is your deal?
Also, the I-10, which surrounds Houston, is all, it's just Raptors. It's just everybody that works in the oil industry has a Raptor.
Well, so I figured
Nobody
out,
takes them off-road.
you always see like Texas is where you always get these like 2,000 horsepower twin turbo cars, you know, like
Yeah,
it seems like
crazy
they're
ones.
always from
Crazy,
Texas.
yep.
The reason that they're that way is like in Dallas doesn't have really like the standard off and on ramp system.
Yeah.
They have frontage roads and then like these 12-foot long, like just little kicks back onto the interstate. And you got to go from a 35 mile an hour frontage road to a 70 mile an hour, but everyone's doing 90 miles an hour interstate in like 15 feet. And so you need 2,000 horsepower in order to not die.
It's a
It's a
necessity.
necessity.
I did it in a Corolla that was a rental.
And it was
And I
terrifying,
set the
wasn't
check
it?
engine light off. It only had 200 miles on it, so I probably shouldn't have been driving it like that. But I was like, fuck, this fucking Corolla with no miles on it's got a check engine light on it now, and I've been driving it like an asshole. Because everybody here
have to.
drives like an asshole, yeah. Just try not to hold up traffic.
The strangest thing I ever experienced in the state of Texas, they have really wide shoulders.
Yep.
And instead of getting into the oncoming lane to pass somebody,
You can
that person will pull over onto the shoulder, and then you just go right on by them, and then they pull back onto the road behind.
No, it's so stupid.
Yeah, dude. And I shit you not, there was one point in time where we were doing 3 wide down a country 2-lane highway because we were passing someone who had pulled over, and the guy behind us had no time to wait.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Texas.
Scary. Texas is an interesting place.
And then just to finish this up on the Rebel, they made it 6 inches wider than the Ram 1500, and then the concept has 6-point harnesses. Is that street legal? Like
You can get a
DOT harness.
You can get a DOT
can?
harness. It just costs, there's a cost associated with getting it certified, so nobody does it.
Yeah. That's what the next question was like, is there anyone else that makes a race harness that goes into a production car? That you can
Bill's
think-
STI has DOT harnesses.
Does it really?
They're an aftermarket company that went through the process of getting
Okay, yeah, well that'd be different than
right.
And,
Isn't that how that worked?
Yep.
and also, since it's a concept, there's a pretty good chance that that seatbelt would not come with
No,
it.
it's probably not gonna be a thing. So does it come standard with a step ladder so I can get in it, or is
No,
that
you-
an option I have to buy?
You just need to be taller.
It's got 37-inch tires on it from the factory.
yeah, they'll tell you to grow up.
Good God, that's such a big tire.
What are you going to do with
That's an
it?
expensive tire.
Is that like $10,000 to put tires on that every 4,000 miles?
I'll bet
Because
it's-
you're
I don't know
driving
what
off-road tires
bet it's
on the
$4,000.
street.
It might be I don't know I don't know. We don't know shit about off-roading. It's more money
It's
than
not
normal.
cheap.
But
I know last time we looked at giant tires, they were crazy spendy, but that was a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, there's a lot of rubber there. I'm not a big fan of Dodge, but I would drive that truck.
Robbie's new daily.
It's
V8.
so practical.
it's very practical.
I could pull anything I wanted.
You could?
I could haul anything I wanted.
You could.
You
I
could
could-
go off-road.
I could off-road.
Never get stuck.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even
there's-
need to build the Rogue Warrior.
No,
You'd
there's
be fine.
There's wrecks on the interstate literally every day. I could go around them.
You
There
could drive
were-
over them.
There
Exactly.
There were 4 of them between the first exit to Ankeny and the exit to Jordan Creek.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
my
On,
way here
at
this morning.
235, too.
Today.
It took Jess an hour to go from downtown to here.
Yep.
Today.
Yeah, it's
Apparently-
international run into each other on the
Apparently,
interstate
National
day.
Taco Day just put everybody in a
Out of
frenzy.
fucking control.
Yep. Did you eat tacos today?
No.
No.
Me neither.
Nobody told me till just now. It was International Taco.
Fuzzy's Tacos was doing dollar tacos, and so the line
would have been huge.
The line because the
geez.
Fuzzy's Taco just opened in Ames, and whenever any place in a college town does dollar anythings, the line is stupid.
They'll wait for 3 hours for a taco.
I'll be that guy.
Poncheros will do it too.
I'll be that guy. Fuzzy's is not that good.
It's not worth waiting 2 hours for.
No, dude, there was a line
that good,
out the
full
door,
stop.
all the way down the block, and then part of the way up the next one.
Now, Five Guys did dollar burgers.
That'd be a different story.
Oh, I'd be comatose by the end of that day.
Oh, man,
Constant
Be
meat
lettuce
sweat.
all over my face.
I'd be meat sweating for weeks.
Still meat sweating. Stop.
Just walk in with a $5 bill and just go to heaven.
Here's my 20.
Literally, it will kill
Here's
you.
my 20.
It'll
I
kill
don't
you.
want any change.
I don't want to leave here until I'm dead. You take me out on a stretcher.
I only
You
need one of
understand
the
me?
fries.
The fries are just to change it up a little bit. A little variety between my burger.
I'm going to need a very large soda.
I'll be here all day.
If in the future we're a little comatose during an episode because they're opening a Five Guys in West Des Moines.
Yeah.
Just right down the
So much meat. Peanut oil. Ugh.
I'm so excited.
Salt. There's so much sodium.
You're going to gain so much weight.
I know.
I'm excited.
It's my fault, and I'm proud of it.
It's going to be Fat Michael.
I don't like it.
We can wrap this up with the Iowa State Fair Board has killed the racetrack at the Iowa State Fairgrounds.
Second racetrack in the area.
The
second one to die
racetrack
this year.
Of two completely different motorsport genres in our area that has died this year.
I guess when I first heard it, I wasn't surprised. I was like, oh, okay, well, I only ever saw concerts being put on there. Unbeknownst to me that they do races there literally every weekend from
I'm a
like
little surprised.
May until October.
I'm a little surprised, like, that I know it's the east side, so it was probably more accepted in that part of this town than, say, West Des Moines.
East
But
side till I die.
West Des Moines is the best Des Moines.
No, east side.
East side. But I'm surprised that the city allowed such loud and obnoxious activities to go on for so long.
That's a fair
Yeah,
point.
it is like
It's in the middle of
in the
a
middle of the
neighborhood.
town.
Yeah,
It's
in
a
the
neighborhood.
in a world where National Corvette Museum can't even have a racetrack because somebody built a housing development right next to it and then got mad about their racetrack. I'm surprised that there is a open header, 30 cars on track at a time, dirt track in the middle of an urban city.
yes.
That being said, it's really shitty that they closed it. Just from a perspective of the fact that the last thing we need as a culture is less places to do it.
Yeah, and I was surprised at how popular it still was, and it kind of seemed like it was out of nowhere without any rhyme or reason to it.
There's probably a lot of political, bureaucratic stuff that we don't even want to get into. The main reason I want to talk about this is that I just want to encourage everybody to go to any track that is close to them, whether it is their type of motorsport or not, and just be a spectator as regularly as possible. Encourage any form of motorsport or automotive thing in your area and do your part by being a spectator to make sure that it stays.
Yeah, support something that clearly other people love. 'Cause
Exactly.
Like we've been trying to do that. That's the whole point of the podcast. Is like we're trying to bring everyone together as a car culture. Like I don't care what you're doing. If you're doing it in 2 wheels or 4 or 3 or 8, I don't care.
Unless it's rice, apparently.
Apparently, if it's
Sorry.
rice, yeah, unless it's my car and it's rice, in that
not
case,
okay.
we're not doing
Beat
that.
it, nerd.
Yeah, get out of here, Rob. But
Ron.
that's what I meant. But yeah,
Derail.
derailed. But like we should be able to come together and just support each other in the racing that we do. So like, I had no idea that they were still going on at the fairgrounds. I thought it was an old track that they had turned into a concert venue during the fair. Had I known that there was races there literally every weekend, on a Friday night when I'm not doing anything, I probably would have gone a lot more. So, I don't know.
Be a part of your car
Local
group
car
locally.
culture.
No matter where you are, be a part of it. Even if it's not your particular form, go and watch it. I guarantee you'll have fun. I guarantee it'll be the best night of the week, and that's all that really matters.
Plus, if you're a drinker, at dirt tracks, they serve beer.
Bud heavy all night.
There you
every
go.
night.
Yeah, don't drink light beer. Everyone else think you're a pussy.
No light beer allowed at a dirt track. I think that's a rule.
Should be a rule.
If it's not, it is now.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else we got?
That's it.
I think that's about all. We're going
Boom.
to wrap up on a heavy, serious note there.
That's all right. We're going to wrap it up. Go to the store.
Yeah.
Buy your girlfriend a silly colored shirt.
Oh, totally.
That's a light note, isn't it?
First I was like, what store are we going to? Now I'm following.
Damn it, it's our store. We want people to go to it.
Our store. Not the store. Our
Well,
store.
the store. On this podcast,
Yes,
it's
it's
the store.
Are you going to go to Hy-Vee and get ourselves some lunch meat, or what are we doing?
No.
They don't have Hy-Vee in California.
Well, this shit.
Shopco? I don't know what the fuck they have out there.
Publix? No, that's Florida.
Anyway,
No, it's Publix.
In
weird.
North Carolina, I know they have Lowe's. And that was really confusing.
That's very confusing.
And my girlfriend was wondering why I was buying so many things from Lowe's when I was down there.
where's all the wood?
She shouldn't question that. We buy things from Lowe's here all the time.
Well, she was like, well, because I was down there, living in a hotel. She's like, how much
What the fuck
shit,
are you doing?
How much shit do you need from Lowe's?
I'm building
Is the
simulators.
company going to pay you back for all that, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's coming out of my per diem, but that's supposed to be your food. It is food. That's what they're called here.
Anyway, random note to end the podcast on, but let's end it. All right. Go to the store, 10centspodcast.com. Bye. You don't sound abnormal to yourself now in your
No.
headphones.
I sound fine.
You sound weird.
Thank you.
Stop sounding like a weirdo.
Don't tell me how to live my life. I will speak how I feel comfortable.
Fuck you.
Your language is a